Hey everybody, thank you for joining us. I am JR Honeycutt from the Nerd Nighters and Level 99 Games, and this is, well, it's everyone's hero, the man of the hour. This is Kyle Brockman. Kyle, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Are you excited for the last 20-25 minutes of WitchHunt?
Yeah. I'm happy to finally see this through to the next step.
I'm glad. I think that, well, first off, we can talk about it. Like, Level 99 is going to be helping you to publish this game, and Brad, the owner of Level 99, will be on here in a few minutes to talk about it and maybe answer some questions or whatever. But you have had, by all accounts, tremendous success. I interviewed you 2 weeks ago, and you were sitting around, I think, $11,000 raised, and now you've almost doubled that. How do you feel? How do you feel about the campaign?
Pretty good. I definitely, I mean, it's a success. There's no way around it. It's really hard to say, measure it qualitatively. Is it, because we really came into this with no expectations of how much we thought we'd get, how many people we thought we'd reach. So we're just really grateful and happy to see anything, really.
That's such a humble answer, but surely you thought you'd at least get $10,000, right? That's what you set the goal at.
Yeah, we were pretty confident we could get 10,000 based on just the number of people who have played it firsthand, and because really that's why I would launch this Kickstarter, because people were just emailing me and pointing guns in my head, how can we buy a copy? When's the Kickstarter? When's the Kickstarter? So we thought we could definitely get at least about 12,000 based on just that level of interest. We weren't sure how much we could evangelize the game beyond that, because it's a very difficult to communicate large group games to people who haven't played it. So I'm very happy to see the backers who are just giving us the faith that yeah, this looks good. I'm really excited to play this with my friends.
I'm glad. We're going to have Brad jump in here in just a second. He's on his way. You mentioned, just as we were talking right before we launched, that a lot of the success from the campaign has been because of people that you met at Gen Con or people who checked the game out at Gen Con. What do you feel like? Do you feel like Gen Con was a huge part of success for you? Do you feel like that was the right way to handle marketing the Kickstarter? What do you think?
Definitely most of the success we've gotten is from people who have played the game firsthand. I think that just speaks to the strength of the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
All right. Short answers from everyone's favorite game designer, the game designer du jour, Kyle. So Brad will jump in here in just a moment. We've got some live viewers now. So you guys, everyone go get your toasting glass or your little noisemaker or whatever it is you want to do at midnight Central to celebrate the funding of WitchHunt. Is there, I guess, Kyle, the question is is there anything else you want to do in the last 24 minutes of this campaign?
I don't know if there's anything I want to do. Let's see. Right now we're sitting at 21,678. I think we have a stretch goal of 22,000, where I was going to recode the moderator app and do some interface upgrades, including an undo button. So we might hit that. There's a chance.
So so be honest here. Do you kind of want to just get to 21,999 so you can save yourself the work, or is this something you're excited to do?
Particularly the undo button is something I've really wanted to do just as a moderator of this game. It's honestly just the undo button is something I might ultimately one day do anyway. It's just that if we hit that goal, I'm obligated to do it sooner rather than later, and I'm promising everyone I'll do it.
Right.
Taking that leap.
So you've got other stretch goals here. I didn't realize this thing went all the way up to 30K on the stretch goals. What do you do you think, well, obviously we're pretty close to the end of this thing here, but any of these things is being stuff that you'll want to add in anyways, or you'll want to do anyways eventually?
Music on the moderator app could be a cool thing. We might look at that in the future.
Like a 4 to 5 player variant also, right?
That's kind of tertiary. I don't know if that's something we would actively go out of a way to pursue.
Okay. I'm curious to know, one of the knocks on Werewolf is that you've got to have X number of people to play it. It's usually 7 or 8 people at least. Mm-hmm. Do you already have this design in mind, or is it hey, we're just going to sit down and scratch it out and make it work?
Well, we've tested a few things with 5 and 6 players. that works okay. I don't know if I have like a really solid value proposition that's like, no, you should play this game instead of the Resistance when you have that many people. You should play this game instead of BSG or whatever other like flavor of social deduction game you prefer.
Or Dark Moon.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that's my hesitation to like commit to doing a 4 to 5 player variant for fun. It's definitely something we can do because we've had some like experiments that are just kind of enjoyable. But I feel like it's going out on a limb to say, I don't know, just as a designer, it feels like it would be asserting, oh yeah, like you should play this game instead of other games. As opposed to like, if you have 9 players, well, yeah, totally play WitchHunt. It's fantastic. It's the best.
So you're saying you don't want to encourage people to play if it isn't the perfect version of the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's like that designer, like everything has to be perfect mentality that creeps in.
I understand. Brad, welcome in.
Hey, good to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
I feel like
I walked in on the back of an interesting conversation. You guys were talking about playing with smaller player counts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a stretch goal at 24,000, and he's almost at 22,000 now for the 4 to 5 player variant. So I was asking him, I was kind of teasing, like, will you end up doing this stuff anyways, or is it like, nope, we didn't get to 24,000, we're not doing it? And he was saying that he wants to make sure it's the best version of the game that he releases. So.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's the reason it's interesting to me is because I actually designed Noir as a way to play Werewolf with 2 players, and then 3 and 4 eventually. So that was the original concept behind the design, and to see other people interested in that too from a different angle, coming at it from the other side.
I think one of the main design criteria for any game that kind of like defines the whole project is how many players you kind of target setting out. And there is some variance there, but a game you designed specifically for 2 players, rarely could extend it to something like 5. And you've got a game like Resistance that is very effectively targeted, towards like around 6, and it scales pretty well from like 4 to 10ish. But like you couldn't extend it. You couldn't play Resistance with 2 people. You can't play Resistance with like 20. It's just not like a framework made to sustain that. With WitchHunt, we were kind of like aiming higher, a curve that's a little more fun on the x-axis, I guess.
Yeah.
My favorite player count with WitchHunt, I kind of like 12 to 15. I also kind of like 25 player sized games if you have all experienced people, but that's a little bit more of a specific case. Normally about 15 is good.
So you guys have played this quite a lot at conventions, is what I understand from the Kickstarter page. Yes. And I've never actually joined a game like this at convention. I think I played 2 Rooms in a Boom like twice at invitation from Sean and Alan, but it's a pretty big deal, isn't it? Like people, I go to Gen Con and the hallways are just stuffed with people who
there are lots of people who
playing these games.
Lots of people who go to Gen Con or Origins just to play werewolf style games.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you, my very first Gen Con that I ever went to, I made a bunch of my first gaming friends hanging out playing Werewolf underneath the stairs at 150 o'clock in the morning one night. It was super, super fun.
Yeah, I gotta get into one of those. You have to rope me into that sometime. Well, I guess we're gonna be playing WitchHunt at Gen Con next year all the time. Are you coming to BGG with us?
We were just talking about that. I'm going to check and see if I can make the time in the schedule to come down. It sounds like it would be a great opportunity. If it's half as good as Gen Con, and I'm sure it is, it'd be fantastic for everyone.
Well,
it is so.
For me, BGG Con is so much better than Gen Con because I actually can sit down and play games. Like Gen Con's just so. Yeah. There's no time for anything. So I don't know if the actual convention experience is for people visiting, but
this year for me personally, I didn't play a single game including WitchHunt. We ran like 80 games of WitchHunt over the course of the 3 days. That's like all I did.
Yeah.
It's like 12 hours straight.
So hopefully we get to play a little bit. I think is what I'm hoping is that we'll get a chance to actually bring it to the for us at the table.
We've got to run at least like a level 99 games and volunteers game of WitchHunt at BGGCon, right? Like in our hotel room or something.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get some opportunity. Maybe we'll go to one of like the Plaid Hat party or something, and we'll run it there.
Oh, that'd be perfect. That is exactly what's going to happen.
But I mean, they have people up at all hours of the night playing those kind of games too. So it wouldn't. It actually, what you should do is look into scheduling an event, and we should actually have an event for WitchHunt at BGG, so that we can make sure everybody is there and knows what's happening.
You heard it here first, live audience. We're going to have a Witch Hunt event at BGGCon.
All right, you said it now. Now you made it official. So now you have to set it up. But we also have to get Kyle with us too. So
that's right.
We gotta work that out.
Do you mind if we talk a little bit about like Witch Hunt and Level 99 games and what we're doing? Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's why you guys are here.
Yeah, we're just here to celebrate with you, man. I just had nothing else going on, so I wanted to party.
Yeah, how long have we got left, by the way, before we get too far into?
We've got 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Plenty of time to hit this $22,000 stretch goal.
Have we posted this on our Tumblr and Twitter yet tonight?
We have not done it tonight. I'm doing it right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that right now. So just to get, make sure everybody knows, hey, this is a thing. Because I would kind of like to see us pass a couple more of these goals too before it's all over.
Absolutely. I am sharing this bad boy right now. Brad, can you talk a little bit about what it was about Witch Hunt that made you say, like, this is something Level 99 wants to do?
Well, so I really liked. So I've always been a fan of Werewolf Mafia type games. Like I said, I made Noir because I wanted to play with 2 players because I didn't have enough friends to play a big one. But so that's just a joke. I have lots of friends, really. But what really attracted me to it was the idea that everybody was going to do something special and be someone special, and also the idea that I really liked the this kind of afterlife aspect where it has, where the players stay involved in the game after the game. And I think those were kind of the 2 critical flaws of the original Werewolf, is that not everybody has a power, and once you're out, there's nothing fun to do. And this Witch Hunt seems to fix both of those, and it seems to have a really great critical acclaim as well. So those things really attracted me to it, and I think that it's going to be a really great fit for us, and hopefully it'll be something that we can take mainstream as well to, like Barnes & Noble and such. We actually just sent Pixel Tactics over to them to review. So that should be. So we'll see how that goes. We're hoping.
Fantastic.
So you were talking a little bit about what we're doing with Witch Hunt, and I guess I should, kind of say how we're getting involved. So what we're doing is when we find as a project like this that that seems like it's going to be a really cool hit, something that we want to get involved with and add to our line as a company. So what we do is we get involved after the Kickstarter, and we handle the printing and production side of things, and then fulfillment and distribution, basically all the stuff that's not game design, graphic design, and the original, the creation of the Kickstarter. So it's more of a true like studio publisher pairing, like you find in the video game industry, where the studio actually produces all of the content, and then the publisher handles all of the marketing and logistics side of things. And since we have all of our advertising staff and warehouse and connections and distribution, and our logo is pretty well known with distributors and stuff, it's a lot easier for us to break in with a game in a way that a studio couldn't if they were self-publishing. So that's sort of what we bring to the table, and it also lets the studio take more time to actually just make games, which ideally is what we all want to be doing in this industry anyway. So we're really happy to get involved with it in that way, and to become part of Witch Hunt. So I'm as excited as I hope everyone watching to get my copy and start playing.
Kyle, what about you? What about the process? What about Level 99 made you say, like, yes, like this game that I've spent so long, worked so hard creating, will be a good fit for this company?
Well, a lot of the publishers I talked to, there was like 2 main things that kind of made it get one negative reaction, and kind of put a damp on things moving forward. One was that we had all these digital components of the game, like the Monitor app and other things we worked on. And when I would mention this to other publishers, their eyes would just kind of glaze over, and they'd say, "Oh, we don't know about that. We don't know if we are interested in getting Neo anything digital. Additionally, other publishers wanted to specifically own the IP. Lockdown, it is now theirs. All the assets belong to them for forever. And the designer normally gets like a 5% royalty, and otherwise sign-on, they'll take it from there. That's the conversation I had with most people, which unsurprisingly didn't really go anywhere. And with you guys, it was a very different conversation. Like you said, it was much more similar to what we see in the video game industry. Well, they say, okay, you make the game, whatever you're doing, that's great. That's on you. We'll handle distribution and marketing because that's what we know how to do, and that's the infrastructure we've invested and built up. And that was fantastic. That's exactly what we were worried about. That was the difficult problems because Henry spent a lot of time looking into the industry and distribution and various channels and options, and it was just overwhelming. It was a mess. It was so difficult to get in as a first-time, just a single-game publisher. It was just insurmountable. So this sort of relationship was perfect for us. It solved that problem resolutely.
And hopefully it'll be a lot better for you guys too on the financial side, because the studio royalty is much higher than the designer royalty that a lot of publishers offer. Mm-hmm. So it's a little different than a traditional deal because you're not just the designer. You actually have full control over the graphic design and the way the game's laid out and all of the basically the way the product is put together is completely under your control. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of creative control, when we look for a studio that we want to pick up, that we want to work with, we look at like all their skills together. Whereas with designer, you just have to look at the game design. With a studio, you have to look at their choice of theme, their ability with graphic design, the actual design of the game, and their ability to self-promote. And you guys have done a great job of bringing this game to life over all these years. And that enthusiasm, and that ability to actually produce the game through not just physically making the copy, but actually going out and getting people excited about it and making it real in the social sense is a huge asset to the design of the game as well.
Mm-hmm. One aspect of that was very beneficial was in a lot of traditional publisher relationships, you just approach them with the design and the prototype, and then they take charge of art and use their own art contracts and oftentimes internal art relationships to produce the art, normally with a lot of different artists working very quickly to crank the game out. At least that's again the conversations I was having with people.
Yeah, it's pretty typical.
Mm-hmm. And in our case, we've had Laura, who I hired as the artist quite some time ago, who's been working on this very diligently, slowly coming up with the visual identity of this game, and just really cranking up the good stuff. I mean, everyone just loves the art. That's one of the most consistent.
Yeah, it was a big draw for me as well. That I really like the way that it looks.
And it's especially nice because it's one person who's slowly been doing everything and is now almost done, and it has a very consistent art style. Well, everything from the box to the card templates to the illustrations, it's all Laura. It's all just this one unified creative idea that she's honed in on, and it looks just fantastic. The results speak for themselves.
Yeah, I found too in our designs that keeping one person in charge of the artistic vision is helps a whole lot. Like where we had Fabio Fontes do Millennium Blades, and it was a massive game, but he did it all himself, and the final result is so good because not only has he done all the art and it's unified, but he understands the game so well because he's been with it for so long. And I think that's kind of what you're talking about too, is that the artist, they lend their identity to the project when you give them full creative control.
We always have trouble getting Laura to play the games. We'll go to meetups and watch people play and sit there and sketch as they play and try to capture the feeling of the game. So that's neat. I think it's fueled a lot of the quality we see.
That's fantastic. I think her work is very good, and I imagine that if she wants it, she'll find more work in the board game world based on what's been presented here.
Yeah, is she a permanent member of your studio, or still a freelancer?
She's freelancing. I believe her ultimate end goal here is to get a job at Riot.
Okay.
But I'm sure she's interested in all sorts of projects. She has so many irons in the fire. It's interesting because her artistic abilities are very varied. I think she does a lot of costumes like some technical diagramming, and she's just all over the place doing all sorts of incredible things. It was definitely a big win, a big find to get her in on this project.
Well, there's a lot of really talented people in the board game industry, and I think that that's one thing that we are seeing is, like you were saying, with more of the studio type agreements, is that we're kind of feeling a shift in the industry now that board gaming is becoming more developed. In that it used to be that your studio had to self-publish, and so you had to be a publisher to get a game out. And nowadays, we really are seeing that dichotomy of studios to publishers because the industry is developed enough that you can just publish other studio designs. You don't have to do studio work in-house anymore.
I was just about to ask you if over the course of the last 6 months to a year, we're seeing a change in what success means for design studios and particularly for Kickstarter companies. Like, is success like, hey, I made a game and now another publisher is grabbing it? Like, almost like the Asmodee model, right? Like, bigger companies picking up smaller projects.
Are you asking me or are you asking Kyle?
I'm asking either one of you, but probably Brad.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to talk too much because this is Kyle's final countdown.
Oh no,
I think that
I'm enjoying taking a break and listening to you guys talk.
Well, it is sort of going that way because we're finding that it's becoming easier to put games out, and we actually need we really need more help on the studio side because once you've got your infrastructure established, publishing a game is pretty straightforward. It's just this series of steps that you do. You send a solicitation, you get copies of distribution, you send it to reviewers. You handle the printing, you pay the bills, and it's all very straightforward. And we have staff to handle that. But the studio side, that requires individual, unique creative vision for each different project. And so bringing in outside studios to create that new vision is in many ways a lot more effective than doing everything first party. So I think we'll see that shift more and more. I think it'll become a trend in the industry. But I think we are at like the 3-minute mark for WitchHunt, aren't we?
Yes, as we got 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, so we should. Well, I don't know if it's a little early for a countdown, but
yeah, 240, 239. It'll be fun. Brad, are you going to be the one who backs this thing for $500 to put us over the top here?
I'm backing it for a bit more than $500. Yeah.
That's fair. I'm pretty excited also to get a copy of this. The box looks gorgeous. I put out an update to our newsletter subscribers yesterday, and I was going through the campaign page and I was like looking for little pieces of art and stuff that I can include in the newsletter, and I didn't realize just like it isn't just that this is pretty; it's so detailed, right? Like this is just really well done graphic design. Like the cards aren't just like, hey, here's an ability and here's a picture or something. You've got like art like overlaying the graphic design of the card, and the things are very intricate, and even like the background images are very detailed. It's really impressive.
And the actual source images Laura is producing are just astronomically huge. That's the reason they print so well on the jumbo cards.
Yeah.
Like the first image you sent me just literally crashed my computer. Like Windows Explorer could not handle it.
Huh.
I think I've still got it somewhere. Some absurd file, like 32,000 pixels by something.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. The stuff the artists do these days. Actually, even our artist only delivers like 6,000 square for our projects, which is good unless you're printing something larger than 3 feet square, and then you start to lose resolution. But even 6,000 pixels, that'll take you a long ways. So with 36 or 32,000, you could probably paint the side of a building with it, and you wouldn't lose resolution.
Wow. We got to tell Fabio to step up his game.
Oh, he's got quite enough work to do.
So Brad, I think the immediate question that we all have now is like, are we going to see some of these WitchHunt characters make their way over into anywhere else in the level 99 world?
It certainly could happen. Since we've been doing more of these studio projects, we've been talking a lot about crossover games or something that we can like involve a couple of the characters from different studios to kind of share exposure. I think that would be a lot of fun. Whatever happens, we'll see. but the I think the oh man, I had something on the tip of my head and I lost it. I wanted to say like maybe we could do something like like doing some promotional characters or something like that after the project ends. I mean, we could sponsor in ways beyond just telling people through our newsletter, hopefully.
Absolutely.
So, we'll be seeing what we can do to get involved and, maybe do some promotional cards or something that we can ship along with the Kickstarter. Just something neat to say thanks to everybody who got involved. But we're down to 30 seconds, so
we're very close here, right?
Yeah, I should probably count this count.
Kyle, do you have anything last second you can say in 10 seconds or less to your backers before this thing closes?
I'm not sure. Maybe I should give like a final shout out to my arch rival Alan Girding.
I'm sure Alan Girding is watching with bated breath right now to see you fail and it won't happen.
Arch rival Alan Girding.
8, 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are funded. Now I have
Congratulations.
to this bad boy. Oh, we did have one
right.
small pledge at the end. Someone snuck in the door there.
Excellent.
That was Alan Girding. Alan Girding pledged $30 last second.
No, he was actually one of the first to back. His espionage knows no bounds.
That's right. I assume our travels, because you were both running social deduction games in the same area at WitchHunt.
Oh man, JR, I think you've turned into a Decepticon.
No.
But
it's Alan.
It's
Alan.
Subterfuge.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back, and that's fine. My microphone does this. After like 25 minutes of recording on every single thing that I do, this happens.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I just got you that thing too. I'll have to.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. I assume that Alan is your nemesis because you guys were both running social deduction games at Gen Con in the same area.
It was Don Maui. He was the last one who snuck in.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Well,
thanks, Don.
This is it. The campaign is funded, and all the gears can start turning. Is there anything else we need to cover tonight? Kyle, you got anything else you want to talk about?
I guess I should definitely say I'm not a witch, just so everyone knows.
Nor am I.
So it's got to be Brad then.
Yeah, so we both point to Brad.
Yes, I am a witch.
Right. Oh, well, he said it, so okay, well.
Well, we'll point him to Brad. Brad, you're out.
There is that guy that wants to die, so he wins when he dies, right?
No.
No, that's not it.
He's
that
the
guy's
first
not
guy to go.
Oh no, I've misplayed.
Well, now we can make that guy, and we can just make Voco a character in WitchHunt, right?
He wants to die. We'll do something. We'll talk about that. But I think it's a great opportunity to say a final, like a big thank you to everybody. I think this is, the dream is going to come true, and we're all here to work together and make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, from Level 99 Games, and we want to say thank you to you, Kyle, for bringing us on board to help out with this. Mm-hmm. And also thanks to everybody who's helped WitchHunt to become a reality.
Yeah, and God knows there's a lot of you.
There are approximately 578 of you at least, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, well, thank you everybody for watching and hanging out for the last half hour of the campaign. Kyle, thanks for making a great game. Cannot wait to get a chance to play this with you, hopefully at BGGCon, if not sometime soon. Brad, thanks for jumping in as well. For everyone watching, go check out the campaign. Subscribe to the Level 99 Games newsletter for more information. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you'll get your updates through Kyle as well. So thanks, everybody, and get some sleep. Good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Guys. Mm-hmm.